Well, it's Saturday, Labor Day weekend. Plan was to go out for a 2-day sail and spend the night on the hook somewhere, probably over by the Indiana Dunes lakeshore. Weather was forecast to be, light wind, south direction. All sounded like it was a perfect weekend to get out and kind of get it one night out on the hook before fall. Woke up this morning though to thunderstorms at around 7 o'clock. Heavy rain. Forecast is still calling for clearing and then possible pop-up thunderstorms later in the day, and then a clear evening. So kind of provisioning the boat, getting everything moved from the car into the boat. Have a few projects to work on, and not quite sure what we're going to do yet, but we're on the boat and just hanging out, kind of waiting for the weather to clear or whatever. So I'll give you a little more update later. So after a little monkeying around with some fittings and stuff, I found a way to hook up our spare 5-pound propane tank and connect it directly to the grill. So we don't have to go through the solenoid system and all that. We'd only have it hooked up when we're out here, using the grill. So you can see some flames dancing down in there. I think we'll just burn it for a little while, burn all the crap off. Kind of sounds like I hear crispy critter spiders and stuff popping in there. So we'll get it good and hot, kind of clean it up, and we'll be able to barbecue sometime today. So that job's done. Well, I just finished watering the boat, filling up the port and starboard water tanks. And unfortunately, this is what the weather looks like off to the east. Pretty dang ugly out there. Lightning, dark. Looks like we're going to get more storms. See the flags blowing. That's easterly direction. So nice calm seas with a south wind. Not looking real promising right this minute. So just hanging out here, trying to figure out whether we can get out or not today. Keep working on little projects, and got a few more things that I can work on, and one of them's that dinghy. It's been sitting out here all year. Doesn't really belong to me. Found it here at the marina. I was going to take it with, so if I anchored somewhere I could dinghy ashore if I wanted to. So maybe we'll dump the water out of that and spray it off here soon if the weather doesn't start pouring on us. I'm just going to rinse out the cockpit, I think, while it's not pouring rain, and wait and see what happens. Sure looks ugly off to the east though. Not pretty. Well, it's still Saturday of Labor Day. It's 1:25 in the afternoon on the 5th of September. So the weather kind of cleared off a bit. Rain stopped, winds shifted around a little bit to the south, which is where they're supposed to be coming from tonight. So I've left the marina. I'm going to at least sail a little bit and kind of keep an eye on the weather and the wave conditions, and if it looks like it's okay to anchor out tonight, I will. If it turns out not to be so nice, then I'll probably just come back to the marina. Still looks a little kind of iffy to the east. The sun's coming out, right overhead. So we're just gonna have to watch that eastern sky. We're supposed to get another little storm tonight or late afternoon. As long as it's short and it doesn't kick up waves, I'd be okay probably hanging out on anchor tonight. So anyway, the winds are only reading about 8 knots, so we'll give it a try to sail east and head for the beach, Indiana Dunes Beach, and see how things go. But we're starting the epic adventure. Got all the chores done, got the dinghy tied off on the back in case we want to use it, got the grill working, and Maybe we'll barbecue out tonight if it's not raining. And a few provisions on the boat, so we're good to go. We're gonna give it a try. More later. Well, we've left the marina. We are now under sail. We've got the full main up, but we've got the jib reef just till we kind of get a feel for what the weather is going to do out here. It's still very dark off to the east, so we might get rain, might get a storm. I have the foul weather gear standing by. So we'll just go kind of wing it a little bit and see what the weather brings. We're not going fast. I might have to put out the rest of that jib, but I just want to kind of see what the wind's going to do before we make a decision on that. They're reading about 7.5 knots. We're pretty light right now. Easily fly the whole jib, but just want to see if this darkness brings any wind with it or not. So playing it safe. Wife's at home worrying to death, so playing it safe. A few boats out, not many. Big oar ship or something off in the distance over there, and a power boater coming this way, it looks like. Don't see much else. That might be Mike back there. Not sure. Somebody's in a sailboat coming out. So of course that means I got to put up the rest of the jib. Mike's chasing me down. So I guess I'll put out the rest of the jib for now. See you soon. So as soon as I said I'm going to put out the whole jib, which I did, and all of a sudden the wind started building and almost immediately went up to 15 or 16 knots. There's Mike way over there. I'm not sure what he's going to do. He's tacking. I don't know if he's coming all the way out or not. We got 16 knots of wind. We're going 6 knots. Turn around, go back. I did reef the jib back to its smallest reef. Still got the main up, but can loosen the Traveler if things get any windier. So it's a nice sail right this minute. Unfortunately, we're headed kind of the wrong way. I want to go over there to the beach. Thought we'll sail this way for a while, and then we'll turn south, even if we have a motor. We might be able to sail south. With my luck, of course, the wind will shift to the south. But, oh well, we're moving.
We're going to be entering Indiana Harbor with 2 FGs.
6.25 speed. Yield over about 12, 15 degrees. This is what it's all about. Having fun. I don't know if this wind is from this little bit of a front that's coming through or what, but we're prepared for it, so I'll probably grab my life jacket just to make my wife happy. But we're doing nicely now, thanks. More later. So we're still sailing out towards the east. Wind's died down a little bit. It's only 10 knots now, which is nice. If it stays this way, I'm gonna go. Anyway, so I was going along and saw this guy coming. I want to make sure I stay way out of his way. Some kind of a barge, it looks like. Didn't see anybody else out around me. Mike went back. He's still out. Just staying in protected water by the marina. So the wind's kind of settled down now, about 10 knots, and got the full jib back up again for a while. Keeping a close eye on the weather horizon, though. Just want to make sure that dark stuff to the east and south of us doesn't blow in a lot of wind, but it's very comfortable. 11 knots of wind. We're making about 5 knots boat speed. No more traffic anywhere around us, it doesn't look like. That's a view back to the marina. Mike's way out there. Make him out. That's what we're sailing into. Again, it looks a little dark, but I don't know. I don't know what to expect out there. Got some blue sky up above, but it's kind of dark that way if you look back towards Chicago. So hard to say, but it's a nice even sail right now. We're at the 10, 11 knots of wind, making 5 knots boat speed, and just kind of enjoying it because we're not in a hurry today. We can get there whenever we want. Well, it's 3:12 in the afternoon on Saturday, September 5th, Labor Day weekend. Still trying to make our way over to the Indiana Dunes National Lakeshore. Started out with no wind, then we got a lot of wind. We got a nice wind, about 10, 11, 12 knots, and now it's down to less than 10. Right now we're still making 3.5 knots, but the wind's actually a little bit behind us, and it's a slow go. Probably get to the dune area about 6 o'clock, I think. Still 11 miles away and making about 3 knots, so I guess maybe a little more than 3 hours from now. But anyway, still enjoyable. Wish we had a little more wind to speed things up a little bit, but if it gets close to dinner time and we still don't have any wind, then I guess I'll start the motor and finish the trip to the beach on our Iron Jenny. Well, I broke down and I fired up the engine. So we're motor sailing at about 6 knots. Trying to get over to the anchorage where we want to spend the night, not get there at 8 o'clock at night. So weather actually seems like it's clearing and probably going to be very calm tonight. It's kind of what it looks like. So I guess the plan's working out. There's the dinghy motoring along. Autopilot steering now. We're getting darn close. It's about 4:45, and our destination is in sight over there. I'm not sure which one of those dunes we want to anchor in front of, but somewhere. There's the Indiana Dunes beach house over there. Give you a reference of where we're at. It's turned out to be a beautiful afternoon now. The sun's out. Beautiful lake. And we're close. We should be at the anchorage by about 5:25. I don't know if you can make them out, but there's quite a few people over at the dunes there at the beach. Trying to zoom in pretty close. It's hard to hold her steady. There's quite a few people out there, it looks like. All right, the barbecue is done and we are ready to eat. That looks pretty darn good. Grill worked great. So we're probably, I don't know, an hour, maybe 2 hours from sunset. So we'll hurry up and eat and decide then if we want to try to dinghy ashore. Looks good, I'm ready to eat. So it's about 7:15, Saturday evening. September 5th, and I'm anchored off Indiana Dunes Lakeshore. Pretty out here. I've actually got the Notre Dame football game playing on my iPad while I'm sitting in the cockpit enjoying the sunset. One thing I noticed was I'm going to hold the camera really steady and watch that lifeline as it moves up and down against the background. So even though there's not a lot of wind and there aren't like choppy waves, there's still quite a bit of roll out here. You can just see the amount of roll. No boats have gone by, so I'm not really sure why there's that much roll, but certainly will make an interesting night's sleep, I think. Between the roll and worrying about some crazy drunk boater running into us, I guess that's be the things I'm worried about. Here comes a power boater now, I think. Can barely see him over there. I have my anchor light on, but it's way up there at the top of the mast. It's not quite dark enough probably to see it real well. Hopefully that guy sees me. Kind of thinking once it gets dark they won't be out motorboating around. But anyway, so sitting in the cockpit, had dinner on the grill. Decided not to go dinghy ashore. The sun was behind that band of clouds there on the horizon, so it wasn't a very dramatic sunset. So decided not to waste the time and energy to go over there. All right, back to the football game.